Hare Hare Krishna Paneshwara Lakshmi Mata Ji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you, Mata Ji, for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Vrinda Gopika Mata Ji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you, Mata Ji, for joining and giving a beautiful association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sudevi.
Hare Krishna Sudevi, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association. And thank you for doing beautiful japa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga. This is Harita from Missouri City, Texas. Happy Ekadashi to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Harita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much for joining and giving a beautiful association this morning. Hare Krishna and happy Ekadashi to you all. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shashla Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasni Dividasi from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna Preeti Vilasni Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you so much Mataji for joining and giving a beautiful and wonderful association this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shivani Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sankaramya from Sharjah.
Hare Krishna Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Garanga ki jai. Thank you Mataji for joining and giving a wonderful and beautiful association this morning. Hare Krishna.
We'll wait till Prabhu comes and then I'll start the recording.
Mataji, I think Prabhuji is on the call.
Where?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I saw someone else. Sorry about that.
Or you want to read Prabhupada's quote, I can start the recording and then stop it again. Or you'll
Sure.
just wait till Prabhu comes and then read the quotes.
Well, we can wait for Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you. Prabhuji is on the call. Good morning, dear devotees. Once again, I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. I would like to start by sharing a quote by Srila Prabhupada Ji. We should take any Leela of Krishna as supreme. The Vrindavan Leela, Krishna Leela with the gopis, is the most confidential Leela. We should not entertain this confidential Leela unless we are liberated. It is very difficult subject, and because they cannot understand what is Krishna's Leela, they imitate, they fall down. Vrindavan, August 11, 1974. Good morning, dear devotees. Once again, I welcome you all to Bhakti Sangha Japa, Japa conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace, Goluka Govinda Giri Prabhuji and Our Grace Gauranga Devi Mataji. Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. Govinda Giri Prabhuji and Gauranga Devi Mataji, we are very fortunate to have you on the call this morning. Thank you for giving us your valuable time and wonderful association. Looking forward to hearing from you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai. Please take over the call, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna. We can't hear you, Prabhuji.
I think, yeah.
Very, very barely.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Is it better?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Deva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tatho Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishkiki Okam Karoti Vachanam Pangum Lankhayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Mante Sri Guru Dhinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. So today we are discussing the meditations of great Acaryas. So we are today going to study a bhajan that is part of Kalyana Kalpataru by our Guru Acharya Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and the song is called Gopinath.
Krishna, am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
मम निवेदना सुनो विषयीदो जना सदा कामरा किचु नाही मोरा गुना गोपीनाथ मम निवेदना सुनो विषयीदो जना सदा कामरा किचु नाही मोरा गुना गोपीनाथ अमर भरोसा तुम्ही तुम्हार चरण लोइलो शरण तुम्हार रामे तुम्हार रामे गोपीनाथ के मोनि ना जानी बाती करमे चढ़ाते पुरीति संसार गोरे पुरीति संसार गोरे गोपीनाथ सकले हरि गोपीनाथ तरमेसा नियत स्थान मागे दिया रोहे करो राधा गोपीना नियता स्थान मागे
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. We can't hear you very clearly. It's getting cut. Can you come closer to the mic, maybe?
Okay, Mataji. Is it?
No, it's still. No, keep talking. Let's see.
Is it okay?
Right. It's kind of going in and out. I'm not sure why.
Mataji, just 2 minutes. Yeah. Microphone on.
You're singing so beautifully, and we're missing all the words. Yeah. It's better. It's better. Yes, it's better.
Hare Krishna.
It's better. Can you hear us?
Voice is breaking,
Video on.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes. Now it's good.
Audible, but voice is breaking and you cannot see anything.
Hare Krishna.
We are not able to see you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Paneshwari Mataji, I think so. She's not able to hear us.
Yeah.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Mataji, is it audible?
Yes. Right.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes.
On. It's on. Okay. Okay. So I will start from the first.
Yes.
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 Okay, Mataji. I'll start from the first.
Yes, this is better. Much better.
Gopinath mama nivedana shuno vishayi durjana sada kamarata kichu nahi mora guna गोपीनाथ हमारा भरोसा तुम्हें तुम्हारा चराने लोइनो शरणा तुम्हारा किंकोरामी तुम्हारा किंकोरा आमी गोपीनाथ के मोने छोड़ी भे मोरे ना जानी भक्ति कर में जडमती पोरिची संसार घोरे गोपीनाथ सकले तुम्हारे माया नाही ममा भला ज्ञान सुनिर्मला स्वाधीन नहे काया स्वाधीन नहे काया गोपीनाथ नियत चरणे स्थान मागे पामरा कांडिया कांडिया कोरो हे करुणा दाना गोपीनाथ तुम्ही तो सकले परो दुर्जने तारिते तुम्हारा शकते के आचे पापीरारो
केयाचे पपीरा आरो गोपीनाथ तुम्ही कृपा भार जीवर कारणे आशिया प्रपंचे लीला कोइले सुबिस्तारा गोपीनाथ आम्ही के दोषी असुर सकल पाहिलो चरणा विनोदा थाकिलो बोशी विनोदा थाकिलो बोशी गोपीनाथ मम निवेदना शुनो विषयी दुर्जना सदा कामरता किछु नाही मोर गुना हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे हरे गोपीनाथ मम निवेदना शुनो विषयी दुर्जना सदा कामरता किछु नाही मोर गुना. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Beautiful.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
Mataji. Very beautiful.
Mataji, very, very nice. Kirtan.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can you hear us?
So this is a very wonderful bhajan by our Purvacharya Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And while we look at the meaning of this particular bhajan, so this is a bhajan written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, which is a part of his collection of bhajans called Kalyana Kalpataru. Kalyana Kalpataru means the auspicious desire tree. There are totally 63 bhajans in this particular work of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And this Kalyana Kalpataru is divided into 3 branches, namely Upadesha, Upalabdhi, and Uchvasa. So 3 parts this has been divided into, and this song Gopinath is from the Uchvasa part of the book. That is, Upadesha means instructions, Upalabdhi means achievement, Uchvasa means increase of spiritual emotions. So this bhajan is basically, we can say that it is an expression by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on a very transcendental platform. At the same time, it is, what do you say, just like all the great Acaryas, the bhava of the song is very, very wonderful, and what can we say? It's greatly inspiring to read and understand what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying here. So he's starting by saying that Gopinatha Mama Nivedana Suno Vishayi Durjana Sada Kamarata Kichu Nahi Mora Guna. So this is exactly how a devotee sees himself. Exactly how a devotee sees himself, that he says that I have no guna. Kichu nahi mora guna. That does not mean that, what do you call, he is not having any guna, nirguna, not that kind of meaning, but rather I am not having any good qualities. This is the attitude of the devotee normally. The more advanced the devotee is, he will actually have expressions of this mode wherein one very factually understands about oneself, and that automatically brings this dainya mood. So we will see that throughout this 8 lines of this bhajan, this mood dainya is expressed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Gopinath mama nivedana suno vishayi durjana sada kamarata kichunahi mora guna. What does it mean? Oh Gopinath, please hear my confession. I am a materialist, vishayi, and I am a sinner, and sada kamarata, I am always lusty. I have no virtues. So these are the qualifications that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is speaking about himself. He says this is what I am. Whereas in the material world, we will find that if we are asked to speak about ourselves, it will always be filled with self-glorification. Whether in the material world especially, unless you self-glorify, you cannot sell yourself. So basically, everybody is taught how to glorify oneself, so that it is part of this whole selling process that happens in the material world. So unless you can sell yourself, you cannot, you cannot survive, sort of. But when it comes to spirituality, it is exactly the opposite. It is exactly the opposite. Because the more one becomes spiritually realized, the more one understands one's fallen condition. The more one becomes spiritually realized, the more one can understand one's fallen condition. And that automatically makes one into a dainya. Dainya means one who is humble, one who is saying that I am a miserable person, I am in a miserable condition, I am poor. So dainya has all these meanings. And dainya is something that happens, or dainya is something that develops when we chant the holy name of Krishna. Etabhave prema bhakta ganere nachai krishnera anandamrita sagara bhashai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his conversation with Prakashananda Saraswati, this is in the Adi Leela part of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Mahaprabhu is telling that Sweda Kampa, Romanchashru Gadgada Vaivarnya, Unmada Vishada Dhairya Garva Harsha Dainya. Etabhave prema bhakta ganera nachai, krishnera anandamrita sagare bashai. So there are various symptoms, natural symptoms of Krishna prema that causes the devotee to dance and float in the ocean of transcendental bliss, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, while chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So how does one develop? If one wants to develop this dainya, this quality of humility, this comes in along with all the other wonderful qualities that becomes exhibited in a devotee when he is in that transcendental ecstasy chanting the holy name of Krishna. This dainya bhava. Because what is a devotee's abhushana? What is a devotee's abharana? Meaning, what is decorating the devotee. Externally, physical appearance, the devotee has tilak and he has kanthi and like that, shikha and other whatever abhushas that we may have. But then the real abhusha or the real ornament of a Vaishnava is his qualities. And in that, one of the wonderful qualities is dainya. Dainya, humility. And actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's expression here saying, I am Vishayi, I am Durjana, I am Sada Kamarata, it is actually an expression of his dainyata. It's an expression of humility. We must understand it like that. Not to think that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had all these qualities, that he is a Vishayi. Vishayi means, one who is engaged in activities connected with Indriya Vishaya. That means those things that the material senses are looking out for, those are called Vishaya, means materialistic enjoyments. The material senses are always after material enjoyment. So that is Vishaya. And one who is always engaged in those Vishayas is called a Vishayi. This Vishayi only Srila Prabhupada in his purports refers to as the materialist. So Vishayi. Durjana, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that I am a papi, I am a Durjana, Sada Kamarata. I am always lusty. Who is saying this? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying this. Kichu nahi mora guna. Now, contrast this with the, what can I say, with a regular person. Even though we have all these qualities of being a materialist, being a Durjana, having committed papa, and Sada Kamarata, always the mind engages itself in lusty thoughts. Lust, we must understand, kama means any excessive attachment to any material thing is called kama. So, very strongly attached to material things is kama. So that way, we have strong attachments in the material world. We are materialistically acting, materialistically thinking, materialistically willing, materialistically feeling. So Vishayi, Durjana, in the process, we also commit papa, commit sin. And we are also contemplating on those things that we are very attached to. So that way, there is no Kichu nahi mora guna. I have no good qualities. Whereas we always think that I have developed all the great qualities, like this. Srila Prabhupada says that as soon as one has material desires, he loses his spiritual identity. And when one loses one's spiritual identity, he will lose his intelligence. And having lost intelligence, we will deviate or move away from our original consciousness. And that way, we become unable to utilize our senses properly. That is why we are improperly using our senses. So that way, everything goes upside down. Those things that are to be engaged and used to please the Lord, we use and engage them to please ourselves. Right? So now the question comes, having read this, he's saying, Gopinath Mama Nivedana Sunu. That's very important. No? Please hear my Nivedana. Please hear my confession. Please hear my position, This is expressing, or more than expressing, exposing myself to the Lord. Although Lord being Paramatma and Sarvasakshi, we don't need to expose ourselves to the Lord. Lord already knows what we are. But we think that we can cover it up and, make a show in front of the Lord. But that's not possible. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, with that very clear understanding, he is saying, this is what I am. Ichuna hi mora guna. So such a person, what is the hope? What is the hope? For everyone, there is hope. There is hope for everyone, actually. That is why Srimad Bhagavatam says, Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. You can be akama without any kama, sarvakamo va. You can have all the desires. Mokshakama, you can have mokshakama. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. If we are worshipping very intensely the Supreme Lord Krishna through the process of bhakti, because Krishna is very uttaradhi, Krishna is very magnanimous, he will save everybody. This is the fact. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, putting himself in the position of the Baddha Jiva, conditioned material soul, materially conditioned soul, sorry. So he's expressing like this. He's continuing, Gopinath Amara Bharasa Tumi, Tomara Charane Loinu Sarana, Tomara Kinkara Ami. Now, this is, the first one is like a Vijnapti. It's like I am expressing myself, please. Now, I am making a statement of intent, Gopinath Amar Bharasa Tumi. I am entrusting my faith in you. Tomara Charana Loyanu Sharana. I take shelter of your feet. Tomar Kinkara Ami. I am your Kinkara. Kinkara means servant. Kim Kara, that word, when you split it, that means Kim Kara. Whatever is told, I will do. That is servant. Whatever is told, I will do. That is servitude. So, Kinkara automatically means that you don't selectively execute. You will execute everything that is ordered. That is Kinkara. So, the statement is made very clear. I am your Kinkara. I am your servant. Amara bharasa tumi. I have faith in you. So, this is this in this sloka, in this pada, let us say, there is expression of principles of Sharanagati also. Amara bharasa tumi means rakshasyati iti viswaso. Faith that Krishna will be my rakshakarta. Faith that Krishna will always protect me. That is what it means. Amara bharasa tumi. So anybody who says that, I have faith in you, Krishna, that you will protect me, so Krishna will accept. And further he goes on to say, Tomara charana loyana sharana. I am taking shelter of your lotus feet. In Valmiki Ramayana, there is this very wonderful pastime of Vibhishana Sharanagati, where Vibhishana comes to surrender, take shelter of Lord Ramachandra. And Lord Ramachandra, being the Maryada Purushottama, his attitude is very different from Krishna. In the sense, Lord Ramachandra allows all the people to express Sugriva, Lakshmana, then Hanuman, the others, they are all expressing their views that when Vibhishana has come outside and whether he should be accepted or not. And except Hanuman, everybody else will advise Lord Ramachandra against it. Lord Ramachandra says, Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami yetad vritam mama. He says that I will protect Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo. I will protect those from everyone. That is, whoever is posing them danger, I will protect. Who? Sakrit eva prapannaya tava asmi iti yachate. That is, somebody who prapannaya, who surrenders, saying tava asmi. That is, anyone who, Lord Ramachandra says, anyone who says that I am yours, tava asmi. He says, etad vritam mama. What? Abhayam sarvabhutebhyo dadami. Abhayam dadami. I give them shelter. And this is my vrata. So Lord is Dhradavrata, no? He once takes a decision, then he will execute it. So that is how the Supreme Lord accepts our surrender. So here, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has already told Tomara that I am yours, Tomara Kinkarami. I am your servant. I have taken shelter. Both things he has told. He has now expressed, I am taking shelter of you and I am your. I can be your servant, I can be your friend, I can be your lover, I can be your parent. We know all those rasas. But the moment, like Lord Ramachandra says, Tava Asmi, I am yours. That can be, I am your anything. I can be your anything that you can decide. Yatha tatha va vitata tu lampato mat prananathastu sa evana paraha. Whatever you do, you are my prananatha. That is, Tomara ami, I am yours. So like this, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is expressing surrender. Continues, Gopinath kemona shodibe more, najani bhakati karme jodamadi, orechi samsara ghore. Oh Gopinath, how will you protect me? Kemone shodibe more, najani bhakati, I do not understand devotional service. Karma jodamati, my mati, intelligence, is always thinking of karma, kamya karma, thinking of how I can materially gain. Horechi samsara ghore. And because of my own actions, I have now fallen into this ghora samsara, horrible material world. Horrible material world. So, now he is explaining his condition further after making a statement of intent. Now he is again back to explaining his condition and that Vijnapti, that Nivedan is continuing. Kemona Shodibe More. How will you purify me? Because I am in such a fallen condition. Although he being the Acharya that he is, he understands that Krishna can purify anybody. Krishna can purify anybody. Nothing is impossible for Krishna. Krishna can save anybody. Nothing is impossible for Krishna. but expressing his dainyata and also expressing his fallen condition. Because he says, Na jani bhakati. Na jani bhakati. This is because I don't know what is bhakti. So we have to understand that if we don't know about bhakti, actually that is the most dangerous position that one can be. Whatever else may or may not be, if we have no idea about bhakti, if we are not able to practice bhakti with this understanding, then actually our position becomes very, very dangerous. And because of that, what happens? Karma jode mati. So always the intelligence will keep on thinking how to improve myself materially. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada in his purport says, the materialist always is planning how I will make more money, how I will become more, how I will become richer, how I will become more powerful, how I will be able to, making plans for the future. Because those people, the gross materialist, as Srila Prabhupada addresses them, they don't understand bhakti. Why? Because as we said previously, they have lost their self-identity. They don't know. They have lost that concept of their identity itself. So in that forgotten condition of one's real identity, one becomes karme jodamati, always thinking of material things. And it is actually this activity, this proclivity that has brought us to this Kodachi Samsara Ghore. We have fallen into this horrible material world. Srila Prabhupada in many places would quote his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that this place is not a place for a gentleman. This is not a place for gentlemen. Srila Prabhupada always used to say. That means here you're always surrounded by envious people. And Prabhupada says, especially to devotees, there are many people envious around them. People become envious. Prabhupada solidifies this statement by giving the example of Prahlad Maharaj. That although he was just 5 years old, because he was a devotee of the Supreme Lord, his father himself became his enemy. What to speak of others? What to speak of others? So, even as one becomes a devotee or tries to become a devotee, people will be envious, people will express hatred. That is how horrible the material world is. Everybody is envious of everybody else. We know all the 6 enemies. Out of that, this enemy is the one of the worst. Of course, Kama is the worst. After Kama, probably this Matsarya, because this Matsarya has no place in the spiritual world. And only one who has given up Matsarya completely can leave this material world. So Matsarya embodies everything horrible about this material world, is embodied in this enviousness. And nobody is free from envy. And person A is envious of everybody else. Person B is envious of everybody else, including person A. Although person A and person B may be friends externally, like this. Like this, Podechi Samsara Gore. How horrible is this material world? This material world, Samsara Gore, is full of materialistic people, Durjana, like we saw in the first sloka. And always engaged, Karma Jode Mati, always engaged in thinking of, because we are in the company of Durjana, who also are thinking in the same line. We also think like that. So that way, we will never develop, such a person can never develop any understanding of bhakti. So how can such a person be purified? This is the crux of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's question. He continues, Gopinath Sakali Tumara Maya, Nahi Mama Bala, Jnana Sunirmala, Swadhina Nahe Ekaya. Hey Gopinath, everything here is your Maya. Nahi Mama Bala Jnana Sunirmala. I don't have what? Bala, power, Shakti, I don't have. Jnana, knowledge, I don't have. Sunirmala, purity also I don't have. Swadhina Nahe Ekaya. And I have no independence. I have no independence. So what does it mean, I have no independence? A pure devotee, or when one becomes more and more transcendently realized, one will understand that one's condition in this material world is utterly helpless and hopeless. One's condition is utterly helpless and hopeless. But because Sakali Tumara Maya, but Maya Shakti is so strong that the Baddha Jiva thinks that he is independent, thinks that he can survive on his own, thinks that he has the power, the ability, the knowledge that will save him. But time and again, Krishna, through the agency of Prakriti, will give the Jivatma lessons to remind him of his dependence on the Lord. But what happens? Maya being Devi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. Because overcoming her, Duratyaya, very, very difficult. Because she is Bhagavan Shakti. And therefore, it's very difficult. Sakali Tumara Maya. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I understand. I don't have power. I don't have knowledge. I don't have purity. And I am not independent. This is a very, very important. Because due to the influence of Maya, we do not understand the depth of our helplessness. You know, how utterly helpless we are. Maya doesn't allow us to come to that understanding. Still we plow on, you know, and hoping for that better tomorrow. That is how the material world works. Hoping for that better tomorrow, as I wake up tomorrow morning, something wonderful is going to happen in my life. So the materialist is thinking like this, and then he's living. Because Maya covers him, his intelligence. Maya apahrada jnana. When one's intelligence is stolen by Maya, one cannot understand Swadhina Nahe Ekaya. I have no independence. I am actually fully dependent. Either you are depending on Krishna, or you are depending on Maya, or you are depending on so many other external factors. There is actually no independence. But somehow Maya makes us think that we are very independent and we can do things, we can gain things, and we can be in control like that, like that. Gopinath niyata charane sthana mage pamora kandiya kandiya koro he koruna dana. Oh Gopinath, kandiya kandiya, weeping and weeping. This sinner begs for an eternal place at your lotus feet. Please give him a gift of your mercy. This is actually the desire of a pure devotee, is to be eternally placed at the lotus feet of the Lord. In order to be eternally pleased at the lotus feet of the Lord, one must become the recipient of the mercy of the Lord. And in order to become a recipient of the mercy of the Lord, one must always be remembering the lotus feet of the Lord. Uninterrupted remembrance of the lotus feet of the Lord will ensure that one becomes the recipient of the mercy of the Lord. So, therefore, pure devotees' prayers are very similar. Kulashekara Alvar in Mukundamala Stotram, he prays. There is a verse, Mukunda Murdhana Pranipatyayache Bhavantam Ekantam Iyantamartham Avismritir Tvacharanaravinде Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhava Prasadat. Kulashekara Alvar goes one step forward and says that Mukunda Murdhana Pranipatyayache, I am Murdhana with my forehead touching the ground. Hey Mukunda, I am begging you. Yache, I am begging. Bhavantam ekantam iyantam artham. Only one thing I am asking. What is that? Avismritir tvacharanaravinде. That I should never forget your lotus feet. Bhave bhave mestu bhava. Even if bhava bhava, even if I have to repeatedly be born in this material world, give me only one thing. Give me that one boon, that one vara. What is that? That I should never ever forget your lotus feet. Remembering the Lord's lotus feet. Gopinath niyata charane sthana mage ye pamora kandiya kandiya korohe korunada. Pure devotee cries for the mercy of the Lord, because he understands how unlimitedly wonderful the mercy of the Lord is. And he also understands how rarely it is gotten. It is completely opposite to the Vishayi who will cry. The materialist will cry when he loses material possession. The spiritualist will cry for the mercy of the Lord, because that's what he wants. He will not cry for anything in this material world, because he understands the futility. Whereas the spiritualist, he knows that everything in this material world is temporary, and therefore crying for that is pointless. So one thing I want is the mercy of the Lord. For that, he cries. Gopinath, tumi to sakali para, durjane tarite tomara shakati, Keya chepa pirayara. Now, he is making a recommendation on his own behalf. He says, Tumi to sakali para. You can do everything. You have the power. Durjane tarite. Tomara shakati. Durjane tarite tomara shakati. You can be anybody. You can be any big Durjana. Sakali tarite. Because if the Supreme Lord wants, he can make anybody crossover. Keya chepa pirayara. And he says, who is more qualified in that sense than me? So it is said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga, because we are all in Kali Yuga, we are all under the purview of the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is specially merciful to the most fallen people. So actually, being very fallen is a good qualification to be in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement so that we become recipients. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that, Kayache papira, who is more sinful than me? So that way, you should take care of me. Because any durjana parite tumara shakti, tarite tumara shakti. You can do tranana. You can save even the most durjana, somebody who is materialistically very fallen also. Krishna can accept and Krishna can purify and Krishna can award him the highest benediction. Gopinath tumi kripa parabara jivera karane asiya prapache lila koile savistara. Oh Gopinath, you are an ocean of mercy. For the conditioned soul's sake, you come to this world and enjoy many pastimes. So now Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that it is only for the sake of the fallen conditioned souls that you are coming. Because you are the ocean of mercy. Because you are the ocean of mercy. That you want to uplift all the fallen conditioned souls. So you accept various avatars and you come to this material world. And through your various leelas, you attract these conditioned souls. And you attract them to such an extent that somehow or the other, you make them say that I am yours. And then you say that, yes, now that he has said, I have to accept. He says, I am yours. So this is how merciful the Lord is. Kripa paravara. You are an ocean of mercy. Unlimited. The mercy of the Supreme Lord is unlimited. And again, he proves through various leelas that he will accept everyone. So, in this connection, this is a very wonderful incident. When the Lord incarnated as Lord Ramachandra, and as we know, he accepted 14 years of Vanavas, and he was constantly traveling through the jungle. And we all know Lord Ramachandra being a Dhradavrata means he takes a vrata means he considers it, he takes it very, very seriously. And especially two incidents that shows his Dhradavrata. One is when Guha tells him that now that you have entered the forest, you stay here with me. I am the king of this area of the forest. I'll take care of you. So Lord Ramachandra tells him that no, I have come to do real Vanavas. That means I will walk through the forest and I will not take, I don't want to take or accept any facility. So like that he walks. Later, Sugriva also gives him a very similar offer during the 4 months of rain before starting to look for Mother Sita. Sugriva offers Lord Ramachandra that I will give you a nice Udyana. It's just like a forest full of fruit trees. And you will have all facility there. So you will not go hungry. You don't have to, go out looking for food and water. Everything is available there. You make one. No, I will arrange one hut for you. So you be there. So again, Lord Ramachandra says, no, I cannot accept that. Because Vanavas means I have to, walk through the forest, search for food, like that only I will live. So during this Vanayatra, walking through the forest, sometimes thorns will strike Lord Rama's feet. And Lord Ramachandra wouldn't care and he will continue walking with the thorn lodged inside his foot. And so when Lakshmana tells him that, why don't you remove this thorn? So Lord Ramachandra tells him that, no, if I remove something that has, come under my feet, it will dissuade the living entity from coming to surrender to me, coming to take shelter of me. So I don't want to give even a whiff of an excuse for the Jivatma. Oh, Lord Rama, he rejected that thorn that came under his feet. So I don't want to do that. I shall not even reject this thorn that has struck me under my foot. Just to show that I will accept. Whether you are a thorn, also the Lord will accept. So, this is Kripa Paravara. This is Kripa Paravara. So, like this, because he is the ocean of mercy, he is coming to this world to engage in pastimes simply for the benefit of the living entity. Gopinath Amiki Doshe Doshi Asura Sakala Pailo Charana Vinoda Thakilo Basi. Now he says, referring to all the avatars, he says, I am Doshe Doshi. I am sinner of sinners. That means I am like Shiromani among sinners. And other demons, all the asuras, everybody they have taken, you have taken them at your lotus feet, given shelter at your lotus feet. Binoda Thakilo Basi. Only I am left. So please accept me also. So this is the mood of the Vaishnava. Throughout we will find that dainya, humility, expressing humility, expressing helplessness, expressing the fallen situation, and also expressing that my only hope is you, because I am yours. I am your kinkara. I am your servant. I am surrendered to you. I want to take shelter of your lotus feet. So this is the dainya mood. Although the mood is dainya, all the expressions of the bhajan are on the level of transcendental ecstasy. So this is this bhajan Gopinath. There is also a second part to this bhajan, which we may discuss at some other time. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you for a very beautiful nectarian class. You explained all the stanzas of the bhajan so beautifully in such depth. And thank you so much, Mataji, for singing so beautifully. Very, very beautiful nectarian class. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead at this time.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and coming here and presenting on this very beautiful bhajan by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And very, very grateful to Mataji for coming and singing the bhajan for all of us. Oh, it was just so out of this world, Mataji singing. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, very grateful. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for coming on the call, and very, very grateful to Mataji. Mataji's voice is very sweet. Initially, we had technical issue. I was thinking, every time you come, there was microphone, always good. Today, what happened to microphone, I thought, but finally it worked. We could hear very nicely Mataji singing. Thank you, Mataji, for beautiful singing. Prabhu, you are talking about being most fallen is the greatest thing in our movement. But sometimes even I feel like I am the most fallen, but I am not getting that mercy. So is that because I am doing a lot of offense, or what is that?
See, there is one is genuine humility that comes out of realization. The other one is the show humility, because we read all the Acaryas and we know that we should make a show of humility. So mostly because we are very materialistic in our thoughts, deeds, our consciousness. So we also try to, although there is no actual humility, we express some humility. But, there is always the thought that this devotee, God brother, got this is more foreign than me kind of attitude we may harbor at times. So real dainya comes as one understands more and more. I guess it takes time. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Acharya. He is a self-realized personality. So we simply repeat these things so that, someday we will become really humble. Someday we will become really dependent on Krishna. Someday we will realize that, all these pursuits are, worthless. So we have to carry on. You see, we have to carry on with the hope and enthusiasm that Krishna will respond.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you again for a wonderful class, and our special thanks to Mataji also for coming on the call. We're so grateful to both of you for giving us your constant appreciation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Once again, I would like to thank His Grace Govardhan Giri Prabhuji and Her Grace Gaurangi Devi Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for your valuable time and wonderful association this morning. Thank you for a very beautiful nectarian class and the beautiful bhajan, and for explaining all the standards in such depth. Very, very grateful to you both, and we're looking forward to your association in the near future. Dear devotees, if there are no more questions or realizations, I would like to pay my obeisances to His Grace Govardhan Giri Prabhuji and Her Grace Gaurangi Devi Mataji. Do I have your permission, Prabhuji and Mataji, to close the call? वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुएव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरदास ठाकुर जी की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। His Grace Govardhan Giri Prabhuji की and Our Grace Gaurangi Mata जी की जय।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much,
Dandavat
both of
Pranam. Very
you,
nice
for the
bhajan,
wonderful
and you
association. Thank you, Prabhuji.
explained very deeply the meaning. Very nice.
Tangi Mataji, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Such in-depth realizations of this, and how great these acharyas are feeling, and what is our path also in devotion. Very nicely you explained. Thank you for your association, and thank you for the wonderful song, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Ending the call here, dear devotees. Thank you also.